everyone, welcome to my next episode. I have a super long-time friend here. His name is Brian Kitzman, and you're going to learn all about him. I'm in his awesome studio. He is a one-man show at this point in this space, and he's going to describe his studio, and I'm not going to talk anymore. Brian.
Okay. All right.
Go.
Well, welcome to the shop. This is where I do 90% of my work, and it is a converted two-car garage that I just restructured to fit my needs. It has most of the tools that I use. I also have a small machine shop in the basement where I make steel parts, but I do clay work out here, woodwork.
Oh my gosh. Okay, because that's the kiln right there.
That's the little kiln, yeah. And I work in a really small scale, so that kiln is perfect for me. And I'm not a trained ceramist. I found in life that sometimes you want to do a project and a particular material is appropriate for that project, so you learn that material.
Did you do the clay pots for your bonsai?
I did. Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna go out there. All right. So one of the things I know Brian for is he is an instructor.
Oh, right. Yep.
Yeah. And so these drawings might seem simple. There's his
and there's some on the wall there. Those are some of
architecture.
my thinking drawings for this project that I'm currently working on. So I'm a professor at Wayne State University, head of the industrial design program. I was on sabbatical leave this past semester, and my topic for my study for the semester is a project that I've titled American Bonsai Furniture. And it's basically taking the Japanese tradition of bonsai and then looking at regional references to bring to the tree styling and everything around the trees. And we could take a look at some of that.
Yeah, you know what? I think we should, because then it's going to make more sense. I did not realize when you had those clay pots that you made them.
Oh, yeah.
And so...
And those are rocks I've been making, too.
Can I move them?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's a cone 6 black porcelain that those rocks are made out of. But something like this is a little scene that I've been kind of working on. So among my regional references, I'm thinking of farmland and barren farmland in the winter. Certainly in Michigan, we're used to driving and you just passed fields and fields and fields of farmland. And I find that palette really amazingly beautiful, the straw colors, the gray. So I wanted to do something that would reference that. So we've got these sort of marks in the stand, the base.
So this is part of it, too.
Yep, that's part of it,
okay.
right. And then that's one of my rocks.
That he made.
And then that would be a pot that a tree would go in. And then, I guess I might as well just address it right now. Traditionally in bonsai, there's 3 components to display of bonsai. There's the tree, of course, but then there's a tradition of having a companion to go with the tree, and that could be a rock or a plant. And that companion tells the viewer where this tree is located. It sets the context. And then there's a third component that can be included, and that is an ink drawing, and that tells you about the season. So the viewer is supposed to look at the tree, the companion, and the painting and put together a whole scene in their mind of what it is that they're looking at.
Will you do the ink component in here?
No, I've got a separate drawing studio up in the upper floor of the house, so a very small little space. But I'm thinking of these forms, these cloud forms, as replacing the ink drawing. So I'm just imagining these clouds gliding by this farm field. So I've looked at sort of industrial sites for inspiration. Something that's really so inspiring to me is you go by an old industrial site and you see these small fissures in the concrete and plants pop up, right? Or piles of debris. And plants are springing up. It's just incredible how quick nature retakes the land.
And
it's
where
really
is
impressive.
Wayne State?
Wayne State is in the heart of Detroit.
Yeah, so you're going to see a lot of buildings then.
Sure. And certainly the Wayne State area has changed radically in the last 20 years, but I've been there for more than 30 years, so it's a very different place. Yeah.
So you're on sabbatical this year. You'll go back for how many more years before you retire?
I go back for one more year. So next academic year is my last year at Wayne State, and then I retire from academic life.
Let's go outside and look at your bonsai.
Sure. Yeah,
Okay.
let's.
And then do you think, as we're walking out there, as you retire, like, is this bonsai your next passion project? What are you thinking?
Probably. I've got a bunch. You kind of might have noticed there's a 1923 Model T in there. That's also on the offing for retirement life. So that's an Eastern white cedar. I've had the tree for maybe 8 years, but the tree is probably about 70 years old. It was.
Oh, seriously? Because
yeah.
you bought it from someone.
Right, someone who actually gathered it from nature. They got permission to go on property. And these trees are known especially for that kind of structure because deer eat them. They get run over by snow plows and piled on by snow, so they tend to stay really low and kind of get a little scraggly. But things that I've been working on this year, so these are not mature trees at all. But remember I was talking about trees that pop up in fissures.
Yeah.
And so this pot is made to sort of replicate that fissure in concrete.
That makes sense.
And then I've forced this tree into this environment.
Is that what the black wire is? Like your...
And the black wire is training the tree.
I love it.
Right, so that you can get the shape that you think you want.
All the while, when people see this, they're going to be like, oh my God, that's so amazing. And you're going to be like, yep, I made that shit. I told that guy what to do.
Yeah. And
so this is your rock, which I
Yep,
would
that's
not
one of my
have
rocks.
known. So, and then you made all these.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I also developed this idea of the five-sided pot. What's interesting about trees is you get them and you take them out of their original containers, and then you look at the structure of the roots because you prune the root structure as well. And so I had this idea that a five-sided pot really sort of more naturalistically fits the geometry of the root ball. So I make pots in all sorts of different proportions and sizes. So then when I uproot a tree, I can look at and see which pot sort of fits that tree.
Like which root ball it wants
Exactly.
to live in. Oh my God,
Exactly.
that's so amazing.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to look at pots of the bonsai that I hadn't paid attention to before.
Right. Yeah, and pots for bonsai is a huge, huge thing. And some of the most prized pots are actually antique Chinese pots because bonsai comes originally from China, where it was called Pengjing.
Okay.
Yeah. But I don't know if
I
we
digress.
necessarily
No.
want to go down that rabbit hole, but
Okay, cool. So let's see. This is one studio. I know in your basement you
Right.
have not
Yeah.
CNC tools. How would you describe what's in your basement?
super old school machine shop. So I've got a very small vertical mill, a lathe. I also love old machines, so that's one of my passions is I buy old machines and I restore them. I've got a steel cutting bandsaw. I also have a very contemporary TIG welder down there, and a few odds and ends. Sort of a real primitive surface grinder.
So then, like with our clients too, one of the things is they're like, I just need all this equipment right away. But what I
Right.
hear you saying is you got a couple pieces here and there.
Yep.
You
totally.
use the upstairs of your house, like somewhere up there
Yep, right.
is his drawing studio. So it's not
Right.
like you need to rent a building or have
No.
all this stuff.
Absolutely not. And I've been making work for a long time. This is the smallest shop I've ever occupied, but it's also been probably my most fruitful shop. I've produced the most work out of this particular shop.
Okay, and I know you have an upcoming show. My question is, what do you think your percentage, like what is your goal to make this style art? Is it to sell it, to just have a showing, to build your resume? Because you have a full-time job at this time.
Yeah, I'm incredibly fortunate that I do have a full-time job. So this is simply out of passion. I sell work here and there, but quite honestly, it doesn't account for hardly anything. 99% of my income comes from the university.
And then when you're in a gallery show, are you pursuing the galleries or are they finding you?
It goes both ways.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's changed for me over the years as well. When I started out a long time ago, and I think this is interesting, is we have this notion of who we think we are. And so then we start pursuing that, and it takes a while to figure out who you really are, and then to embrace that. And for some reason, for some obscure reason, I was very resistant to making functional work. And I was really, even though I was trained as a product designer, I wanted to make sculpture. And I did that for a decade and a half. And I was like pretty good at it. But at a certain point you go, well, I'm really not interested in objects that people just simply look at. I'm way more interested in people engaging with objects. And so I scaled down my work, which allowed me to work in a much smaller space. And I really started to think about that much more intimate relationship between people and the objects that they have in their lives.
Which is really cool coming from you, like the form and function, all of that. We make work that people can use as well, which I like.
Right.
So I'm curious, like the 70-year-old bonsai, are you going to be able to give that away? Like, is the goal to sell it, or do you think you're just going to do the show where you...
Well, and it's interesting because I'm definitely, so I've got an upcoming show at the Chris Nordine Gallery, and that's going to be in the middle of August. And I'm very specifically choosing work that is my contemporary thought on that. Now, that Eastern White Cedar doesn't really cleanly fit into that current thought process. It got me to this thought process, but I don't consider that indicative of that. So that won't be in the show, so I don't have to think about giving it away.
Yeah, isn't that funny? Because we do get attached to our work sometimes, and then it's
absolutely.
I don't know.
Well, and especially something like this, bonsai, because I started doing bonsai 10 years ago. And I didn't do it with the intention of like, I'm going to become a bonsai artist and I'm going to sell my work. That was not it at all. It was just simply, I was interested, and so I started pursuing it. But, once again, it's figuring out who you really are.
Yeah.
I'm a designer. I can't help myself. So you start following all the prescriptive measures of like, well, this is how you style a tree. It's like, really? And this is what kind of pot this kind of tree should be in. Again, you can't help when you're used to making things to question those assumptions and to push on those assumptions and to find something that you think makes sense.
Yeah, as you say this, I'm thinking of Dyson vacuum.
Right.
Vacuums looked a certain way, and all of a sudden now they look a different way, and that's okay.
Yep.
Yeah. And I do want to point out, because in the background I see like all this loveliness. Brian's got this amazing backyard, and I know that just working in the yard, just the patterns and shapes and watching leaves unfold.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You're just so inspired.
Yep.
Right?
Totally.
Okay, so let's see. What would I have as a final question? What I like is that you're making these out of like a passion project, and it's not like you're not like, I need to buy groceries with this.
Right.
So how would you define success then? Say you have this show at Chris Nordine Studios. What does success look like for you? Is it that you finished a body of work and got it in a gallery? Is it that you're able to communicate with people as they come to the show? What do you think success is going to look like?
Well, yeah, that's an excellent question. And I'm going to say, and this is very ego-driven, but simply getting some recognition for what it is that you're doing. And that's success.
That's perfect. I mean, that's completely fair and legitimate, because some people, that's how they want to be seen. A gallery show with paintings on the wall, that's
Right.
enough,
Right.
right? It's
Right.
not about all the sales for everyone.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, Brian, thank you for talking with us today. We super appreciate you. And then I will put in the comments how to reach Brian or the transcript. If you have questions, you can reach out to him.
Okay. Thank you for having me.